What is the perception of the business community toward the town administration and the mayor and board of aldermen? And what changes do you think need to be made to develop the relationship between the city government and the business community?
Thank you for that question. I believe that there's in the business community, we're definitely looking at more of a unclarity on the government side, the town side. We definitely need to find an opportunity for our businesses to find a mediator, which would be the mayor and aldermen, to be able to make sure that our business sector is being taken care of. The reason why it is so important that we have strong businesses is because with sales tax, it will balance the tax burden away from each and every one of you in this room. With doing the business-friendly policies, being able to go in and look at what the current structure is, the current way of approving things, making sure that they're working in sync with one another. Right now, you have to go through the planning board, the DRC. You have to look at the Board of Zoning Appeals Board. And you have a lot of different boards. I'd like to see us taking the time to be able to sync those together to get the developments approved. Also like to be able to look at the code enforcement, making sure that we get some clarity to that. Being able to take the time to get back there and make sure that we know what's right and wrong. And having a systematic way to making sure that it's fair for us all in the town of Collierville. And I do believe that is something that is a huge challenge for us, but we're going to do that in this next coming 4 years with being able to have that representative, a mediator, to make sure that those things do come to play.
Okay, and if Mr. Lott, if you would respond, please.
Repeat that question for me one more time.
Certainly. What is the perception of the business community toward the town administration and the mayor and board of aldermen? And what changes do you think need to be made to develop the relationship between city government and the business community?
Well, I see the relationship between the businesses and the town administration as being something we've worked at for a long time, trying to make things easier for the business, and sometimes it gets bogged down and shouldn't get bogged down. And I think somewhere along the way we need to put a lot of things maybe on a website where people can go to that website and see what they need to do as far as the business is concerned, and what they need to, what problems they may have, and have answers, and also have one person in charge of who's going to be called at City Hall up there. If we need to talk to someone, then we call that person, and that person can direct this call to whoever needs to be the answering body of this.
All right, and Mr. Rowe, if we could hear from you, please.
There's only two reasons that I can think of that would have an effect on whether somebody was business friendly or not business friendly, and that's the interaction of the town staff with business,
yeah, I don't
or
mean,
the regulations.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think there's some feedback. Can you hear Mr. Rowe? No. Okay, so if you could hold the microphone a little closer, I think the audience can't hear.
Can you hear me now? Good.
All right, so
Okay,
we'll start his minute over.
Okay, I'll start over again. In my opinion, there's two ways that you can be business unfriendly or business friendly. One of them has got to be the interaction with the staff. The other has to be the regulations that the board presents. And in the way we present those is we try to establish a vision that's sustainable for years and years and years, and we try to pick something, the design guidelines and all, that are an image and a vision that would satisfy the people of the town, that meet our standards. Yeah, we've had in the past, we've had some complaints of having to move a bush 1 foot, but you know, our codes people and our inspectors go out and they take the developers' plans that are presented to us and they check those plans. We don't create new rules as we go along. If there's a reason to change a regulation, then and we think that is viable, then we can change a regulation. That's not a big deal. But code, the international code or the Southern Building Code, that cannot be changed. That's just one of the facts that you have to deal with.